Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Which English-Speaking Country Has a Leader in the Most Trouble?
This Prime Minister to talk about morals and morality is a disgrace!
The future of our democracy is at stake.
It's another witch hunt. Here we go again.
On a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being absolute Armageddon and 0 being smooth sailing as far as the eye can see, how bad is Boris Johnson's situation?
Well, on the face of it, it's about a 9.5. The Supreme Court has found that the advice he gave to the Queen was unlawful. That's a big no-no in British politics. He doesn't have a majority in Parliament, particularly after he sacked 21 of his own MPs the other week. He's facing an investigation into his links with an American businesswoman during his time as the Mayor of London, even though he says everything was done entirely properly. And he's now being accused of squeezing a female journalist's thigh at a lunch 20 years ago. He says that's not true. Did you?
No.
And that's before you even get to the small matter of having to negotiate a Brexit deal and get it through a very divided Parliament by the end of the month. How's Trump?
But I would put him at an 8.5. And the reason I say that is because Donald Trump is now officially under a formal impeachment inquiry.
They've been trying to impeach me from the day I got elected.
By the U.S. House of Representatives. That means that the Democrats who are running that chamber of Congress are looking into whether to vote, a majority vote, to put him essentially under trial in the U.S. Senate, and the Senate would then vote up and down to remove him from office.
We're not fooling around here, though. We don't want this to drag on months and months and months.
All this has to do with this Ukraine scandal that has been circulating around.
We spoke about many things, and so I think, and you read it, that nobody pushed me. Yes.
In other words, no pressure.
That was unearthed last week, roughly at the same time that, as you mentioned, the British Supreme Court ruled that Boris Johnson had committed a no-no in proroguing Parliament. I mean, that was a pretty remarkable day.
I'm announcing the House of Representatives moving forward with an official impeachment inquiry.
And if I recall, that was the Supreme Court day back in the UK.
Prime Minister's advice to Her Majesty was unlawful, void and of no effect.
So Lady Hale, the President of the Supreme Court, read out this ruling in the morning on the Tuesday, and you know, that is a huge deal, this idea that this decision to prorogue, to use the term Parliament, was unlawful.
I really regret that Nancy Pelosi does not own a big spider brooch.
Whilst there are a lot of people who are very angry at what's been happening recently, there are a lot of people who look at what Boris Johnson's been doing and they think, do you know what? He's making some decisions. He's decisive. It might be unorthodox, but you know, at least he's trying to get this Brexit process done.
The country voted out. Whether you like it or not, the country voted Brexit.
There is a bit of a division, so it's difficult to see, you know, in an election which way it would fall. And of course, you talked about impeachment. There is talk of impeaching Boris Johnson. That is a hugely, hugely rare thing in British politics. So in terms of, you know, going out to an election, you're saying again, you're looking at November 2020 for an election. We could be looking down the barrel of an election, you know, as soon as November 2019, December. You know, we really don't know when and if it's going to come.
It didn't matter if it was Obama or who it was. They're always out to get the president.
I don't believe that he did anything wrong.
It seems reasonably probable that a majority of the House of Representatives, which the Democrats control, is going to vote to impeach Donald Trump at some point before the end of the year. Their Republicans are in control of the Senate, and they're not going to remove him. So all this impeachment talk, it's almost more maneuvering to gain the high ground for the campaign that's going to happen next year. Okay, I think we're good, and hopefully
cool.
we
can
have
stitch
enough
something
stuff
together
around.
out of that. Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right.
then.
Thanks for the
Bye.
time. I enjoyed it.